YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, I'm Aspie and I'm all about creating mental health and awareness, sharing my life stories also with Asperger's syndrome, OCD and a lot that comes under the territory with Asperger's syndrome, along with tips and advice also in managing your everyday personal struggles of your mental health disorders or just, your health in general, hopefully with some management coping tools for you all, hopefully so that it can be best of use for you lot. So what works for me may not work for you and vice versa, just a matter of respecting one another and just creating a balance between us both. And also what I do is do some video series of encouragement sort of thing so that you guys know that you're not alone regardless what of the personal struggles you may be going through of our everyday life, because every now and again we need support. It's been brought to my attention, however, that I'm doing the Let's Talk series, obviously to a continuation on of it, which obviously is the men's health. As I said so many times before, that this is important because obviously men's health doesn't get talked about much or get much exposure due to a lot of reasons. But if you want to know more onto what I'm sharing, I'm going to be covering all of a whole range of different pieces on this, so follow me through on this journey with me and hopefully we can learn from each other something today. So this one's all about the Let's Talk Men's Health, and this one's all about heart attacks, and some of the stuff that I'm going to bring out is some statistics in New Zealand. As I said so many times before, this is all about New Zealand statistics because I'm obviously from New Zealand. And also just a heads up before I begin this is a disclaimer: I'm no medical doctor, I'm just an all everyday Joe Blows going about my own business, sharing you guys my life stories, my life experiences with my everyday situations I face and my personal struggles, bits of what I share, and hopefully some of it that I shared will be of use to you all. Hopefully we can take on board what we learned today. So let's begin this on the heart attack part of the Let's Talk Men's Health. As we know, basically 1 in 5 men will die from a heart attack, however. So many people may question what's the difference between maybe the heart attack versus anginas and everything else, but I'll include this later on in the piece of these other health conditions that you may be questioning, and I'll give you the answers out to those after doing this research. But to just focus on the main topic at hand of the heart attack, a heart attack is like our heart muscle, as we know, needs oxygen to keep working and pumping, doing its physical activities when it needs it most. It gets oxygen in the blood that is pumped to the heart through the arteries. A heart attack happens when arteries become blocked, stopping the oxygen from reaching certain parts of the heart that is needed to keep the blood supply going. An artery spasm from smoking or drug taking can also interrupt the blood flow to the heart, and this can cause a heart attack also. Minutes later though, however, parts of the heart will start to die. The sooner the blocked artery can be opened and the blood flow restored, the better the chances for survival. The signs and symptoms for heart attacks: obviously some people will experience chest pains, as I said, angina. Angina is another clinical term for chest pains in the days or weeks leading up to a heart attack, and some people may not have any warning signs at all of this happening. Some signs and symptoms, as I said, may be invisible and or work with one another one way or another. Angina is a pain that comes from your heart and feels like a tightening or squeezing in your chest, however. It's a symptom of heart disease where the build-up of all that cholesterol is lining up in your arteries, restricting that blood flow, as well as your oxygen flow to the heart. Angina pains can last around 10 minutes and can spread to the jaw, back or shoulders. Anginas doesn't cause permanent damage, however, to your heart, but it's a major warning sign that your arteries are getting blocked. As well as chest pain, you might also experience some of the following basically of the onset of a heart attack. Number 1 would be your cold sweat, number 2 nausea, number 3 shortness of breath, number 4 pain spreading to one or both arms, back, neck, jaw or stomach areas. Okay, people will question who gets them. Heart attacks are rare in men under 45, although it's now rising for that age group now also. So it's best to, as I said before, be sure to look after ourselves as young as possible so that we don't have the risk of all these different conditions or health factors that arises. But never say sorry, earlier prevention the better. Basically, although it's rising for that age group, as I said, the chances of having that heart attack increases as we get older. However, people who are overweight, smoke, have high blood pressure, high cholesterol or have diabetes are the most risk group that will have that heart attack. Heart attacks risk can run in the family, again hereditary, so if someone in your immediate family has had a heart attack, then your chances of having one is higher. Getting tested. If you have any chest pain or have a high risk of heart attack, see your doctor immediately. Your doctor will then obviously, when you consult with them, is number 1, talk about the risk factors, number 2, listen to your heart, number 3, take in your blood pressure, and number 4, see you for blood test to check your cholesterol levels and out of the blood test that is involved, as mentioned earlier. Last but not least, the treatment options for heart attacks. If you are at risk of a heart attack, your doctor will discuss lifestyle changes to reduce risk. They might also prescribe medication to thin your blood and reduce the risk of blockages. If you have a heart attack, your heart will be damaged, causing irregular heartbeats or heart failure. Heart failure is when your heart isn't strong enough to obviously pump blood around your body. By this time, you will end up be in a hospital bed, maybe in the care of a cardiologist, who will talk through the other treatment options that is available to you. As we know, basically, we need to look after our heart so it doesn't get to that stage, however, of obviously being in the hospital bed with the cardiologist and all that to actually sort our problems out. So as I said earlier, the better. Basically, that's ends basically. Let's talk about men's health, heart attack. Give me the like for thumbs up. Comment below if I've missed out anything. Also, as I said before, with most of these videos, hopefully some of them are under my descriptions, will have some other information, links, what have you, to get a better understanding of knowledge and know-how of what works for you and what not, or just be ready to know the signs and symptoms when ongoing pain or whatever persists in that particular kind of health condition that I have described, regardless what it may be. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, thanks for your support, thanks for watching. Aspie signing out. See you again soon.